gods, they take over me, and then I give you what I'm supposed to give you, and then they go away. Well, the motivation gods have been sitting on me heavy this morning. Like, somebody needs this word, and not only am I going to give you this word, I am going to give you this word. Okay? So there are things that prevent us from moving forward, from growing, from being the light and the example that we are supposed to be. You know, if it's such a low probability for you being on this earth in the first place, like it's like a 400 million to 1 chance that you're ever born anyway, right? Then you need to understand that you are here for a reason. There is something about you that this earth needed, and that you have to leave here. There's something that you have to give to the world. There is some mark. There is some person that you have to touch. There is something that you were put here for. But a lot of us allow fear to stop us from achieving the greatness that's inside of us. I don't believe that fear is something that can cripple you unless you let it. But I do believe that fear is among the top reasons why you've never reached the heights that you deserve to reach. See, you've allowed your fear of the unknown. You've allowed your fear of what could be, of what it isn't, of what it ain't, of what you aren't. You've allowed that to be the reason why you don't move forward. And you can't do that. You can't allow fear to shut you down, sometimes even before you get a chance to start. You can't do that, people. And I was asked once in an interview, how did you become the type of person that just don't care? That you are authentically yourself, whether it looks good or not, whether you're wrong or right, you are just the person that you are. How do you do that? And that question has stuck with me for so long because I've had to ask myself, how did I get here? And there are these core memories that stand out where someone challenged who I am. And I had to make a choice of whether or not I would allow my fear of not being accepted, my fear of not fitting in, my fear of being different, if I was going to allow that stop me from being the person that I was most comfortable with. That's the question you have to ask when you're asking yourself, am I being who I want to be? Are you allowing somebody else's thought of what you're supposed to be become a fear of you not being exactly who you are? And in those moments in my life where that happened, I was able to fight that fear and understand that your idea of me is not a reflection. That's who you think I'm supposed to be. But me, I am going to be the person that I want to be, and that I am going to make that inner child happy. That person inside of me that wants to look up to someone, I want to be the person that I look up to. Me in 10 years is who I'm trying to be right now. Not anybody else, because I can't run their race. And I haven't had their experiences. I've only had mine. So me in 20 years, that's who I want to be. Whoever that person is. Because I know that I'm not going to allow fear to stop that person from blossoming. Now, I went through a breakup a long time ago, and I had to refine myself because in that relationship, I became who that person thought I was supposed to be. I became their reflection. And I lost sight of who Sunshine was. What made Sunshine the person that she is. So I had to find myself. And in finding myself, I find myself in words. I find myself in literature and poetry, in quotes. And so I found this quote that I'm going to read to you guys right now. And I hung it up on my wall that as soon as I got up out of bed, it was the very first thing I had to look at. And I read this every single day until it became so a part of me that unconsciously I was still walking in this quote. So I'm going to read this quote to you today, and I hope you hear the parts of the quote that I heard that I needed. This quote is by Marianne Williamson, and if you don't know who she is, she was Oprah's therapist. She also ran for president a few years ago. She didn't get too far, but she did run. And a lot of times people recite this quote and they take out some of the most deepest parts of the quote because it talks about God. A lot of times people will attribute this quote to Nelson Mandela. But this quote is from Return to Love. And it's a book written by Marianne Williamson, and it's called Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that people around you won't feel insecure. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So when you ask me, how is it that I am able to be the person that I am, to walk in the light the way that I do? How am I able to go after my dreams and my biggest desires? It's because I know that me shining my light gives you a reason to shine your light. I know that me being small does not serve the world in the way that God put me on this earth with the intention that He put in me. Do not allow your fears to stop you from growing and being the biggest, best that you can be. You're not running anyone else's race but yours. And your desire to be great, there's nothing wrong with that. Your desire to make change, your desire to bring joy, that deep desire that you have within you, there is nothing wrong with that. That is what God put you here for. So allow it, grow in it, become it. There's another quote that I stand by that I absolutely love. And it's from a movie with Will Smith. And it's that movie where him and his son, After Earth or something like that. But it's very deep. And it's about fear as well. And it says, fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination causing us to fear things that do not at present and may never exist. And that's near insanity. What it's basically saying is most times we are afraid of things that we have created in our mind. As of right now, it does not exist. It is not an issue. It's in the future. I'm not worried about the future because I'm not there yet. I am not afraid of what I can do because I am not there yet. I'm just trying to do it. And I'll cross whatever bridge I got to cross when I get there. Don't let fear slow you down. Don't let it stop you. All right? Y'all got that? That's all I got. That's all I got. But I'm happy y'all are here today. I'm happy somebody got this word. I'm happy somebody understood what needed to be said. All right?